temporary home. He has prepared a better place for his people.
Hallelujah.
So that's the most important I've heard during this festival, and I've been wanting I want Mary to sing that. I really wish you could have it with the music, with the real, because it deserves all of it.
Hallelujah.
This is our temporary home.
Yeah.
Don't get used to being here. Don't get stuck in this mind. That's why he said, love not the what? The world. And the things what? That are in the world. Because this is temporary. This is not your home. He's going to bring you to a place. I love it when he said the tabernacle of Yah is now with who? With men. And he shall live amongst them. Yes. He shall dwell amongst them. Yes. And if you can't get up on
Hallelujah.
that's the most exciting news, everything that we've ever heard. That's right. That he will dwell with you. Or maybe just me.
Hallelujah.
Yes.
That's the beauty of these days. And I know y'all have heard all these scriptures. And it's hard coming after everything been seen. That's hard. But we're going to try and do it anyway.
Hallelujah.
You know, y'all be praying with me and for me. You know, that the Father can use us. With all the esteem that he's deserves. So, we all know where to go. Leviticus 23, beginning with verse 39. We all know that. Where he tells them on the seventh month on the 15th day. Let's see if we can look at that just right quick. We keep moving. Try to keep it moving. So Leviticus 23, verse 39, on the 15th day of the 7th month, when ye have gathered in your fruit. When you have gathered in your fruit. Now I heard Brother Isaac bring that point out poignantly. You've already, all the hard work, all the labor you done put in, all the times of toiling in the fields and all that stuff. Not only planting it, but going out there every day and watering it. Come on. Every day, pulling out weeds, pulling out sin, pulling out all the parts of my character, all the things that I needed to get rid of. So that my field can grow, so that I can experience it and begin to sprout. So instead of just being, barely making it, now I'm thriving with the sunlight coming in. The word of Yah taking hold in me. I see all those kinds of things. So now when I was weak, or when I was a child, I thought as a child. But as I become a man, see, I done matured now.
Hallelujah.
And see, that's what he's saying. We have to grow. Everybody. From the littlest one here to the oldest one here. All of us have to grow. He expects us to grow. But the Feast of Tabernacles was celebrated when all of Yah's people had did all that hard work, had them slaved in the sun, had them produced the crop, had them harvested the crops. Come on. And now it's time for a celebration.
Yes.
Now it's time for a celebration. A celebration. He said you are supposed to rejoice. Not get tired. Come on. Not get weary. But he said for us to rejoice. He told us to rejoice during this period. When all your labor has been done, I don't know how. When you get off from work. Y'all know how we do when we get off from work, or we used to do, and you could sit down and pop your bud and all of that. Well, I was the only one. Y'all know how we used to do.
Yes, sir.
You couldn't wait till it was quitting time.
Yeah.
All the stuff was, whatever was your favorite beverage. It might have been water, might have been Kool-Aid, might have been a little glass of wine. You know how we relax. But you had the opportunity to rejoice because all your labor. Come on. Everything you done put in. Every year going to the Feast of Tabernacles. Every year celebrating, festival after festival, feast after feast. Now is your time to finally All my hard work, Father, has now been paid off. Now all my debts been paid. Everything's been taken care of. I have been set free.
Hallelujah. Praise you. Thank you, God.
All of those great things occur during the Feast of Tabernacles. During the Feast of Tabernacles.
Hallelujah.
Turn to Nehemiah 8. I got a phone call, I just have to ignore it. I don't know what they want. We just have to talk a little later.
Did you say 8?
Yeah, Nehemiah 8. And we're going to start with verse 13. So we already talked about, we done went through the Festival of Atonement. We done went through Yom Kippur, or the Day of Atonement. We've gone through now we're in the Feast of Tabernacles. Nehemiah. Begin with chapter 8,
Verse 13.
You need to read them?
Yeah, can you begin reading for me?
On the second day, the family leaders of all the people, along with the priests and the Levites,
All of him.
assembled before Ezra the scribe to study the words of the law. They found written in the law how Yah had commanded through Moses that the Israelites should dwell in booths,
Dwell in what?
booths,
Everybody see that?
during the
Okay.
festival of the 7th month.
Mhm.
So they proclaimed and spread this news throughout all their towns in Jerusalem, saying, "Go out to the hill country and bring back branches of olive, wild olive, myrtle, palm, and other leafy trees to make booths, just as it is written." The people went out, brought back branches, and made booths for themselves on each of their rooftops and in courtyards and the court of the house of Elohim, the square by the water gate and the square by the gate of Ephraim. The whole community that had returned from exile made booths and lived in them. They had not celebrated like this from the days of Joshua son of Nun until that date. And there was tremendous joy.
All right, stop right there. Everybody see that?
Yes.
So, Yah had been showing them what and how to going on and celebrate these days. But because of our disobedience, it was a long time before we have this opportunity to celebrate it again. We came out of captivity only to be disobedient and to go back into captivity. But he's saying right here, these people who would come out of captivity. And so they started reading the book. They started getting together and reading the book. Like we said in our minister study, we all going to have the spirit of the Bereans, and we're going to search, and we're going to study, and try to come to some conclusions on these matters. Why? Because we want to know what thus said Yah.
Yes.
And we want to participate in it. So anywhere they could put a boot, they put one. I don't care if it was on your house. I don't care if you're in the desert. I don't care wherever they made those boots. And for 7 days they dwelled. For 7 days they served the master. For 7 days they gave it all they had. But the part I love, he said that they rejoiced. And there was great gladness.
Yes, indeed.
Great. Not no half-hearted gladness, not no partial gladness. He said there was very great gladness during that time.
Yes, indeed.
And day by day, from the first day until the last day, guess what they did?
Yes.
They read in the book of the law of Elohim.
Yes.
And they kept the feast 7 days. And on the 8th day, they had a what?
Sacred
Assembly,
assembly.
according unto the man.
Yes.
So every day they rejoiced, every day they celebrated, every day they were thankful, every day they were able to, because they set, we talked about that some tithes aside, they were able to bless the stranger, they were able to bless the widow, they were able to bless, anybody who had need. Why? Because they were being obedient, and out of your abundance, like you said, we complaining about giving y'all 10. But we don't realize y'all gave us 100%.
Come on, bro.
Not 10%. He gave us 100%.
Yes, sir.
And out of all that 100, I'm gonna let you keep 90 of it.
Yeah.
And all I'm asking you is to give me just a tenth of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hallelujah.
All of that increase.
Yeah.
I don't bless you.
Yeah.
And I found that there's blessings in obedience.
Yeah.
There's nothing worse than having you being caught in the hands of an angry God.
Yeah.
So whatever you do, if you don't do nothing more today than, like you said, what we've been talking about, examining yourself. Look at the way in which I'm falling short. Don't look in our brother or our sister's eyes. Let's take the beams out of our own eyes. And then as we begin, y'all begin to show us areas that we need to improve upon. Let's stop, talking about it, because I don't want to be the same person I am today 100 days from now.
That's right.
I want to continue to be that new creation. I want to continue to develop. I want to continue to recommit myself. I want to devote myself not only to the study of the word, but most importantly to the application
Yeah.
of the word.
Yes.
Oh, help me to keep growing. Help me to continue to grow. That's the goal. You shouldn't be the same. If you're kind of sitting on the benches right now, I want by the next time make a promise to yourself that you'll be a leader the next time. Ooh. I ain't say everybody be a pastor. I
Try
did
to
not
take your
say
job,
you.
brother.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying be the best that you can be.
Yes.
You got at some point you've been fed all and been fed. At some time you got to learn to feed.
That's right.
And sometimes you got to learn how to cook your own self. Huh? When mama always cooking for you, or daddy always cooking for you, you never learn the skills necessary for you to survive. And in this thing you have to practice, because practice. And when we were playing football, it wasn't practice make perfect. It said perfect practice make perfect. So if I continue to kind of do it haphazardly, when I practice, when I get in the game, I'm going to do it haphazardly.
Right. How you practice, how you play.
How you practice is how you play. Y'all hear what I'm saying?
Yes.
Challenge not anybody else in here. Challenge yourself to be the best that you can be.
Yes.
When they brought the first fruits, if they brought the ones that was rotten, huh? If they brought the stuff with the bruises on it, it was what? Rejected, right?
Yeah.
He said bring the best
Yeah.
of your what? Of your first fruits.
Yeah.
And that's what Yah is telling his people today. Bring the best of your service. Not haphazard. Not, I'm gonna let them run. They won't make us run. You run. Oh, Pastor, you run. You run. We right behind you, Pastor. But you run. Now they want you to feed the sheep, clothe the sheep, do everything. Do your work and their work. I heard you say that the other day. Brother. Somebody said that. But I never found it. I say it all the time. I've never found where he said there's a benchman. Everybody was called to do something.
Yes.
Everybody had a gift. You know what I might be lacking? You sitting on the very thing that I need in order for me to prosper. Huh? We're all in this thing together. In Hebrews, I think it was 10:25, where he said, forsake not the assembling of yourselves together, even more so as you see the day approaching. I think I see the day is approaching, brother. And so now it's not time to slack off from service. Now it's not time to say, I don't know, y'all said come to the command assembly, but I'm not going this time. It's time for us to get up. It's time for us to go ahead on and take charge. And I ain't talking about overrunning and please don't misunderstand or go back and say, man, Brother Gray said run all over. No. I'm saying get up. I'm saying run. I'm saying with whatever strength you have, run with it. Whatever he's given you to do it. But do it with your might. What is Caleb? Was how old? 80 years old? Anybody in this tent right now? Is anybody over 80 years old?
Nope.
See, because I know Prophet John's father is not here.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
But he said he was full of what? Strength.
Strength.
Huh?
Yes.
His strength had not diminished.
Not a bit.
Hallelujah.
Anybody here over 80? Huh?
Not yet.
Come on, talk to me, somebody.
Getting close.
Anybody? Close is good. Close is all right. I can see you kind of slow because I'm getting close. But we got the funniest thing I saw Sabbath. Sister Farm, like you said, 90 years old. Dancing.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yep.
And Prophet John's mama. I ain't gonna say her age. She probably won't tell us age.
Yeah.
But all both of them
Yeah.
dancing. People over 50 dancing.
Oh, yeah.
I can't dance, but I was, dancing on my feet.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you look over there to the young folk. I ain't talking about the ones on, the musicians. I'm talking about the other young folk. And what they do? All right. Hallelujah.
Yeah.
No, if we was at the football game,
Yeah.
woo!
Yeah.
If we was at the house,
That's right.
y'all know how we used to cut up.
That's right.
If you was at the club, what you be doing? Holler, they can hear you way from over there to the back.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
But when we get in service,
Yes, indeed.
give it to him.
That's right.
I've learned. I didn't know I needed to learn how to praise him.
Come on.
I didn't know I had to always learn how to be thankful.
Come on.
But I'm learning. That's why I say you keep growing. Because if you don't grow, you die.
Yeah.
And when you die, you ain't good for what? Nothing.
Nothing.
Yes, indeed.
I tell you, change.
Yes,
What is
indeed.
this all about? What is this all about? It's not time for giving up. It's not time for quitting. It's time to make not a New Year's resolution, huh? But a tabernacle resolution. I resolve that the man I am now is not the man I'm gonna be tomorrow. Huh? The woman I am right now, I might start it. You start out with the grain of a mustard seed, but that mustard seed does not stay small like it first was, right? Huh? But he said that same little old mustard seed, once it's been watered, once it's been nurtured, and once it receives that sunlight day after day, night after night, the moon and water and moisture and rain, that mustard seed does not stay a mustard seed. Some of us are comfortable just being a mustard seed. But he's telling you today, stop being a mustard seed. I made you for bigger and better things. I'm looking for greater. And then, we let the world sing, what's my girl say? Jacqueline Carr. What's she say?
Greater is coming.
Greater is coming. Now the world know greater is coming. But the people of y'all don't know that. Huh? The world trying to take what belongs to us.
Yeah.
What they singing the song? Let's get back to Eden, right?
Yep.
Huh?
Live on top.
What the blessings of Abraham. Ain't that what they singing? Y'all the ones supposed to be singing those songs. You the one who are inheritors of the promises. You the ones who have been given the spirit, the Ruach HaKodesh.
Yes, indeed.
You the ones he was talking about.
Yes.
I receive that. Yes. Hallelujah.
There's a winner in you.
Thank you. Yeah.
And now is the time for that winner to come out.
Hallelujah.
We cannot continue. Because like I say, if you do not grow, you die or you dead. Now, self has to die. I don't mind self dying. Huh? In order that what? The Ruach that lives within me
Yes.
can come alive. This has to die. All those things, the sins of the flesh. What do you say? Sexual immorality, all those things. Lust of the eyes, that has to die.
Yes.
In order that the spirit man might live within me. There's a battle going on.
Come on.
There's a battle raging. The spirit man versus the what? And I say it all the time, the one you feed the most is going to lead the most. You continue to not water and nurture that spirit that's within you. It's not going to overtake the flesh, because the flesh, I keep feeding it every day. A dose of craziness, a dose of idolatry, a dose of, all those things. But I'm not feeding that spiritual woman, or I'm not feeding that spiritual man. Yah is looking for a harvest. He said a harvest is ready. But
The laborers are
the laborers are what?
You.
The laborers are what?
You.
It's harvest time, church.
Come on, come on.
This is our season.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey.
Hallelujah.
This is my season for grace, for favor. This is my season to reap what I have sown. Now, if I didn't reap, I can't reap anything if I haven't sown anything. Y'all hear what I'm saying?
Yes.
I can't look for something if I ain't putting nothing in the ground. Now, I'm not a country boy. I live in the country. So I don't know anything about planting. But I know one thing to say: if you plant it, water it, nurture it, it will grow.
That's right.
And sometimes you just put it out there
That's right.
Yeah.
and don't even do any of them things.
Yeah.
And guess what happens?
It grows.
They grow.
Yeah.
Mas eu plantei.
Then why are we still the same people
Come on.
we were when he first planted? His seed was inside of us. Everybody,
Gotta change.
you have to change.
Yes, sir.
Everybody has to change.
Hallelujah.
Thank you,
Feast
Father.
of Tabernacles. But you see, bringing in the sheaves, all the old song, old foods, all that good stuff. Bringing in the sheaves. Let's go back to, what is that, Nehemiah 8? Let me see if there was there anything left in there, or we got it all.
You got it all.
We went to Hebrews.
Turn to Deuteronomy 31. Let me get somebody to get reading verse 1 for me.
Then Moshe, wait, is everyone there? Let me my
31.
scripture just happened to flip
Deuteronomy
to it.
31, beginning with verse 1.
Then Moshe continued to speak these words to all of Israel, saying, I am now 120 years old. I can no longer act as your leader. Yah has told me, you will not cross the Jordan. Yah, your Elohim, is the one who will cross ahead of you. He will destroy these nations before you, and you will drive them out. Yahshua is the one who will cross ahead of you, as Yah has said.
All right, who gonna cross ahead for you?
Yahshua.
Yahshua.
Yes.
What he was saying to him, you know what he was really saying, Brother John? No. He said, the law could not
get
bring
you
you
in.
to the promised land. That's what he was saying. The law could only take you so far. And that's why Moses didn't bring him all the way into the promised land. He pointed him to it. He brought him there and he got a chance to look. But he didn't allow him to bring him in. Because the law, by the works of the law, all of us fell short. All of us, he says, all my righteousness is a what? Filthy rags. Even when I do my best, I can't make it in.
Yes.
And I needed a Savior to get there. And so that's why he said, Yah said, you know, Moses, you're not going to bring him in. But Yahshua, the one he was prophesying.
The one.
It takes Yahshua to bring you into the promised land. Everybody with me? Keep going.
Yah will deal with them as he did Sihon and Og, the kings of the Amorites, and their land when he destroyed them.
Now, give y'all a little hint. I kind of like when you start reading about Og and Sihon. You know why? You know why? Because you know what the name of that land was? Another name for it? Mount Hermon.
Say it again. Say it again.
I live in Mount Hermon, case for those who don't know. You understand what I'm saying?
Come on.
Okay, but I love when he talks about destroying Og, and, and Bashan and Sihon and all that, because that's Mount Hermon. But keep going.
The kings of the Amorites and their land when he destroyed them. Yah will deliver them over to you, and you must do to them exactly as I have commanded you. Be strong.
Be what?
Be strong.
And that's what I'm telling y'all today. Be what?
strong,
All right, what else he tell him?
and courageous.
See, be strong is just not good enough. I could be strong all I want. But if I'm scared, and all of us get scared from time to time. There ain't nothing wrong with, fearing sometimes. There ain't nothing wrong with, but he said be of good courage. Because you're going to need courage.
Yeah.
You're fighting giants. You're fighting strongholds. You're fighting everything in your life that's trying to keep you from entering into the promised land.
Hallelujah.
Come on.
But he said, be strong, verse 6, and of good courage, and fear not. Nor be afraid of them. For Yah thy Elohim, it is he that doth go with you, and he will not leave you, fail you, or forsake you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
He told him, be strong
And of good
and of
courage.
good courage. Everybody see that? And that's what we all have to do. Be strong and of good courage. Even more so as you see the day approaching. Verse 8.
Oh, skip 7?
Yeah, I saw 7.
Okay, 8. Oh. Yah is the one who will go before you. He will be with you. He will not leave you or forsake you. Do not be afraid or discouraged.
I didn't love them old folks. You sing them old songs. You understand what I'm saying? I didn't understand. I didn't know that sometime I would be depressed. I didn't know that sometime I would be discouraged. I didn't know that sometime I would be dismayed. I thought once I handed over to Yeshua, he was going to work it out and everything was going to be all right. Huh? Isn't that how we were told it was going to be? But every time they made a journey or step toward the promised land, every time they tried to get there, a new enemy cropped up. Come on. Huh? So sometimes, it was dark out there. I know y'all, it's dark out here sometimes, huh?
Yeah.
Huh? And every now and then, a snake will come across your face. And that's what y'all been going through? Huh? Keep going.
Moshe wrote down this law and gave it to the priests, the sons of Levi, who carried the ark of Yah's covenant, and to all the elders of Israel. Moshe commanded them at the end of every 7 years.
At the end of how long?
Every 7 years.
Everybody see that?
Yes.
Go ahead.
At the appointed time in the year of debt cancellation.
What you said?
At the appointed time in the year of debt cancellation.
All the debt you done incurred.
During the festival of booths.
And the festival of what?
Booths.
What festival we in, everybody?
Tabernacles.
So in other words, all your debts. It's time all your debts have been paid. The
Hallelujah.
bill that you owed has been canceled.
Hallelujah.
That's what he said.
Yes.
Am I just making this stuff up? No, but he said every 7 years you have to, all the debts you done accumulate. All the sins, and I'm worthy of debt. Not just debt, but debt. He said, I'm going to release you during the what? The Feast of Tabernacles. I had a debt that I could not pay, and that I owed, and I didn't know how I was going to do it, but Yeshua did it for me. And he said during the Feast of what? Tabernacles.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Father.
Verse 11.
When all Israel assembles in the presence of Yah your Elohim at the place he chooses, you are to read this law out loud before Israel.
And isn't that what we've been doing?
Yes.
Keep going. Verse 12.
Gather the people, men, women, children, and foreigners living within your gates.
I'm going to ask everybody a question. What did he say? Women, men, children, as they said.
And foreigners.
And what?
Foreigners.
And what?
Foreigners.
What is strange?
Anybody not Israel?
One that is not natural.
Anybody?
Somebody not born of the 12
Yeah.
tribes. So even the stranger that is within our gates, the stranger not born of the 12 tribes, who say I'm a father because like Ruth said, your Elohim is what? My Elohim. So even the stranger that is within our gates, that they may what? hear. And that they may what? Learn to fear Yah, our Elohim. And that's what they say. And observe to do all the words of this law. Keep going, verse 13 for me.
Then the children who do not know the law
Our children who don't have an understanding, what they say?
will listen and learn to fear Yah, your Elohim, as long as you live in the land you are crossing the Jordan to possess.
Go ahead.
Then Yah said to Moshe, the time of your death is now approaching.
That's good. That's good. Come on. Everybody see that though?
Yes, sir.
Train up our children in the way that should go.
That's the word.
And that's what we got. We got to train them. 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 All of our children.
Oh, yeah.
And that's an area we all gonna have to really make a conscious decision to do better. I'm serious. Because our children are falling by the wayside. Feast of Tabernacles is how many days?
8.
Huh? 7, but the end of the last great day. All
8
together 8
days.
days. We're gonna have to begin to push to them. We're gonna have to make some sacrifices. Either my job is more important or y'all's word is more important. Everybody understand what I'm saying? And that includes my children. Because if you just happen to be around tabernacles and not in tabernacles,
Right.
you understand what I'm saying? We're around the periphery. You know what I'm saying? We hanging, but we're not participating. Y'all not hear what I'm saying?
Yeah.
See, that we want y'all to give us all the benefits, but none of us want to make the sacrifice. Huh? I must be the only one.
That's right. No.
We're guilty.
Huh? What he say? I'm gonna say it again. Hebrews 10, what is it? 25. Forsake not. Now maybe I wrote them. Somebody double check that one. You know, because sometimes things get a little fuzzy.
Yeah, that's
10 and
right.
what?
Yeah.
25. What is that?
10:25, that's true.
That's it?
Yes, sir.
Can you read that for me? Somebody? Wife or somebody?
Okay. Not staying away from our meetings.
Not what?
Staying away from our meetings.
What that mean, everybody?
Come.
Come, don't forget, don't forsake.
Don't forsake. Huh? Oh, I'm trying to tell
The
you.
congregation.
All of us.
The meeting.
Yes.
As
All
some
of us. Go ahead.
as some habitually do. But encouraging each
Stop. Don't. Sometimes you got to slow that bad boy
Sorry.
down. Huh? He ain't say occasionally.
No. Habitually.
What that mean?
All the
all
time.
the time. It's a habit.
All the time. Huh?
It's a habit now.
And that's how sin has its effect.
Yeah.
It starts out every now and then. And being sin won't stop right there. You know, first I go, I might miss one Sabbath out the month. Then the next thing you start realizing, well, 2 or 3, it don't matter. And the next thing you know, you're not in the congregation. Or you're not in whatever assembly you're in. And that's what Satan does, is that gradual. Because he know if you throw it all on you at one time, you're going to reject that. You're going to see that.
Yeah, that's true.
But that slow death, and all of us went to science class, right? All of us know about if you turn the heat up on the frog gradually, he's going to feel comfortable. And that's what's happening. They're being put to sleep. They're being put to sleep. And eventually it's going to have its full effect on them.
That's right.
And you're going to wonder, what happened? What's wrong with my children? I know I brought them up the right way. What's wrong with my child?
That's what I'm wondering.
But I know. And it breaks your heart.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes, it does.
When they don't have an anchor or foundation in the word, but they'll put time in studying chemistry, Egyptology, and everything else. Because if we don't fill the vacuum, somebody else or something else will.
For sure.
But if you don't have the spirit of discernment because you don't know anything, and what he told us to teach our children in our previous, and they don't know anything, so they're going to choose whatever feels comfortable, whatever sounds good to them. And they're going to disobey the commandments of Yah. And none of us want the consequences to fall on them that Yah says will. At some point, Yah said no more.
Yeah.
So that's why he told us, as you see the day approaching.
Yes, sir.
And we all see the signs of the time. We all see earthquakes in diverse places. We all see feet flowers and walls and rumors of wars. We all see that. You know, or I'm the only one to see that on television. How? So we getting closer and closer. So you see the day approach. Even more so forsake not the assembling of yourselves. And what else he said in that? Finish up.
But encouraging each other.
Nah.
That's the reason why.
Everybody see that?
Yes, indeed.
What we talk about all the time here? Love.
Yeah.
Do what? What else? What it say?
And all the more as you see the days drawing near.
Everybody see that?
Oh, yeah.
Encourage. Now, the encouraging don't mean I don't tell you when things are wrong, don't tell you they're wrong. But always after I sometimes got to do the chastise. Y'all know how we do as parents.
Come on.
Sometimes you got to spank, and then after that, you got to go and do it. Go and console. All right, now, I'll tell you what you did wrong or whatever. All right? But Daddy don't want you to do that next time.
Right.
That's what we do. You still encourage. Everybody with me so far?
Yes.
We ain't gonna go on too long. I know it's been,
Come on with it.
we've been here a while. But as we see, and we are seeing the days approaching. If I don't tell my sister or my brother wake up, they will not be able to retrieve or gather themselves in time for when the day comes. And whoever, somebody told me, what? They say heaven, or I ain't even gonna say that, because they said the tabernacle of Yah is now with me. But if you're not ready when that time comes, you shall, ain't no might, no could, you shall miss that particular book. Everybody who was not on the ark when the flood came perished. And it's the same thing. It won't be water, but fire this time. Isn't that what they said?
Yes.
Yes, indeed.
That's what all these days talk about.
That's right.
Trumpets. You hear the trumpet sound. Huh? That's what atonement is about. When you start getting into atonement, you start looking at judgment. You start looking at if you don't have your business fixed. There was a time, even if you go back in Nehemiah, there was a time when they kept having false, married children or wives who were out of the faith. And the wives who were out of the faith were teaching their children false doctrine as opposed to the doctrine of Yah. There was a time they had to put those wives away. There was a time when they had to put those children away. And I say, when I read that, man, that's cruel, Yah. But what he was showing you prophetically, there will come a time when Yah has to cut sin off. In the new kingdom, there will be no more. I think about it. I'll go if I want to go. Everybody who had that kind of attitude will be burned in the lake of fire. Now, I know people don't like hearing that kind of stuff today, but the reality is just the reality. I could tell you you're going to make it, but I'm telling you, y'all see, at some point, I got to cut them off. And I know when those men who love their wives, and I know those men who love their children, when their children had to go or had to be cut off, I know that was difficult for them. But that's what you and I are going to be faced with.
Yes, indeed.
There comes that time when there will be no more opportunity to recover yourself. Now is the time. As you see those days approaching, he didn't say condemn them. He said encourage them. Right? Help them to get back on track.
Yes.
That's what we have to do. Don't sugarcoat it and say you can continue doing what you're doing. Because what you're doing is not going to make it in.
Right.
Everybody with me so far?
Yeah.
Feast of Tabernacles.
Yes, sir.
Last week. Turn to Revelation 20. try to all of them, you know, get kind of.
21 and what?
And then I'm gonna get that.
You said 20 or
21. Revelation 1. You said Revelation 21, right?
Okay.
21 and 1.
Okay.
Everybody
Everyone there?
Yes, sir.
Then I saw a new heaven
there?
and a new earth.
Huh?
For the first heaven and the first earth had passed away.
Huh?
And the sea existed no longer.
No what?
The sea existed no longer.
Everybody, all right, keep going.
I also saw the Kodesh city, New Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven from Elohim, prepared like a bride adorned for her husband.
Everybody see that? We'll keep it moving, but everybody see that? Keep going.
Yes.
Then I heard a loud voice from the throne. Look! Elohim's dwelling is with men, and he will live with them. They will be his people, and Elohim himself will be with them
Everybody see
and
that?
be their El.
Everybody see that?
Hallelujah.
A great voice out of heaven saying, behold, the tabernacle of Yah is with who now? With men. And he will dwell with them. And they shall be what?
His people.
And
Yes.
Yah himself shall be with them and be their Elohim. Verse 4 says, and Yah shall wipe away all the tears from their eyes. And there shall be no more what? Death. Neither what? Sorrow. No more crying. Neither shall there be any more pain. For the former things
Passed away.
passed away.
Hallelujah.
Father, thank you.
And he
Hallelujah.
that
Thank you,
sat
Yah.
upon the throne said, behold, I make all things new. And he said unto me, write these words, for they are true and faithful.
Yes.
He said unto them, it is what?
Done.
See, there ain't no more coming back after this. It is done. Now, I'm not an English major, but I think that's what past tense.
Yes.
It's over.
It's over.
Yes.
What we used to say, it's over now. I feel like I can make it, but there's no making it after this.
Yeah. It's long.
It's done.
Done.
Verse 6, and he said unto me, it is done. I am Alpha. And we're going to skip over that last one. And Omega.
Alpha
And the only
and
reason I'm
Omega.
saying that because we have a brother here who had that umbrella on you with Omega on top. So I'm going to leave that one alone. You like that?
Olive. What is it?
Olive and
Olive
tar.
and
Olive and tar.
Olive and
Olive
top.
and
The
top.
olive and the top. I'm just saying in Greek they said
Yes.
Alpha
And
and
Omega.
Omega.
Yes.
So I'm just using what they have written in here.
First and the
The
last.
first and the last. Right?
Yes.
All right. Everybody with me?
Yes.
Don't slaughter me on it. I'm just, just funny. Just making it a little funny. In the beginning and the what? The end. And I will give unto him that is athirst. Now notice the condition you have to be. You have to be thirsty.
That's right.
You have to be longing. You have to be seeking. You
Yes.
have to be asking. You have
Yes.
to be demanding. You have to be pushing. A thirst of the fountain, water of life freely. And he that overcometh.
Come on.
Everybody see that word?
Yeah.
That don't mean you just walked on in there or willy-nilly.
No, no.
It doesn't mean that.
I own it.
You own it, but you have deserved it because what? You've had Yeshua as your Messiah. And he led you through the wilderness and he brought you into the
Hallelujah.
promised land.
Yeah.
But you have to overcome giants. You have to overcome strongholds.
Yes.
You have to
And
overcome
arrows.
the
Yes.
life that Satan throws at you to stop you from
Indeed.
completing your journey. But he says, he that overcometh shall inherit all things. That is your destiny. I will be his Elohim, and he or she shall be my child.
Hallelujah.
Thank
But the fearful,
Come on.
but the unbelieving, and the abominable, the murderers, whoremongers.
Sorcerers.
What you said? Whoremongers, sorcerers, idolaters, All liars shall have their part in the what, everybody?
The lake that burneth with fire
And
and
brimstone.
brimstone.
This is
The second death.
no coming back after the second death. No returning after this time. This is the second death. If I stay the man that I was,
Come on.
if I stayed the fearful man, if I stayed the unbelieving man, if I stayed the abominable man, the murderous man, the whoremonger, the sexual immoral man, if I stay in the sorcery, if I stay in the voodoo and the hoodoo, if I stay in idolatry, if I stay in Christmas and Easter, if I stay in all these lies, they shall have their part in the lake of fire,
Hallelujah.
which is the second death.
Help us, Father.
Everybody see that?
Yes, sir.
Hallelujah.
Verse 9.
Then one of the 7 angels, who had held the 7 bowls, filled with the 7 last plagues, came and spoke with me. Come, I will show you the bride, the wife of the Lamb.
Everybody see that? The bride, the lamb. Everybody see that?
Yes.
Verse 10, go ahead.
Then he carried me away in the spirit to a great and high mountain and showed me the Kodesh city, Jerusalem, coming down out of
Now he
heaven.
just re-emphasized
From
again. We
hell.
already told you. Go ahead.
Coming down from heaven. Out of heaven from Elohim. Arrayed with Yah's glory. Her radiance was like a very precious stone, like a jasper stone, bright as crystal. The city was a massive high wall with 12 gates.
All right, that's good. That's good. We all get the picture. Right?
Yes.
It's a prepared place.
Yes.
There,
Okay.
people.
Yes.
The bride wasn't getting herself ready.
The bride was ready.
The bride was ready
And waiting.
and waiting for her
Longing.
husband
Yes.
to wait for.
Longing.
New Jerusalem.
Yes.
We can't keep telling people you can put it off, you ain't got to worry about it. Because there comes a time, and like I said, I know those men love their children. I know undoubtedly they love their wives. Anytime you spend time with people, you know, you're going to hurt when they're hurt. You're going to hurt, you know, when you see them going through suffering.
Oh, yes.
But they don't have to go through it.
That's right.
And this is why the men who have children, and the men who are the head of their household, he didn't mean be the head dictator in your household, but be the head leader in your household and bring your family. I think that's what you say all the time. Huh? You can either lead your wife and children into a destiny, well, you know, that calls being with the tabernacle of Yah, or you can lead them into the lake of fire. But the choice is yours. All right? And so you choose, I think he said it best, choose you
This day, whom you will
who
serve.
you will serve. And make that commitment to, you know, I can't speak for everybody else, but as for me and my house,
Yes, sir.
We will
We will
serve.
serve Yah.
serve Him. He talks about all those great things, all the sick. And he talks about, then he said in verse 22, I saw no temple there, for Yah, Elohim Almighty, and the Lamb of the temple. The city had no need of the sun, neither the moon. I don't have to worry about anything. To shine in.
Hallelujah.
For the esteem of Elohim is light, and the Lamb is the light thereof. And the nations of them which are saved shall walk in the light of it. Because you
Hallelujah.
walking with your king. You walking with your king.
Hallelujah.
And the kings of the earth do bring their esteem and honor to you. Verse 27. And there shall be no wise enter in it. Anything that defileth, neither whatsoever worketh abomination or maketh a lie, but they which are written in the Lamb's book of life.
Hallelujah.
That's what these days represent. I'm not going to hold you. I know it's been a long time. But all I want to do is encourage one another to continue to observe Yah's Sabbath, Yah's feast States. Get in the habit. When you say be there, be there. But don't just be there in body, physically, but participate. You know, it's not one for people to sit in the bleachers. He gave everybody a gift. And if you're not there to share what he's given to you, the congregation is missing something. All right? So let him use you, you know, and help somebody. You don't want you to keep it all to yourself. Share it with somebody.
Yes.
May God bless you. May God keep you.
Hallelujah.